Hello, this is Dragon Tank 1400, and this is All Grown Up, Season 2, Episode 3 review. The name of the episode is Fools Rush In. The only thing really clever about this episode is the title, because Fools Rush In resembles Dill trying to rush in to save his brother, and he's kind of a fool for it because he ends up just embarrassing him. So the plot of the episode is basically Tommy is having trouble with this one girl, Francine, who's just gonna humiliate him, and Dill's actually the one who tries to save him but ends up humiliating Tommy. And basically Tommy's street cred or reputation goes from hero to zero basically in the span of a few seconds. And the side plot relates to it as Angelica is picking up like embarrassing photos and doing a gossip column, and she's going to get in trouble for that. That plot is actually pretty good, but the main plot is just bad. First of all, last season we had a total of 4 episodes that resembled Tommy and Dill's brotherly relationship. And one of those episodes was just awful. And this one is awful as well. I mean, it's just plain bad. Like I said, the only redeeming grace for this episode is Angelica's side plot. I mean, I guess it did have Kimmy and Lil in the episode, but they didn't really say anything. They said like a couple lines and that was it. And they did have Dill interviewing like brothers and sisters to try to figure out what it means to be a brother. And it was funny to see Phil and Lil kind of fight about it. And it was kind of funny to see Stu kind of get really mad at his brother for all the bad things Drew did to Stu. So, I mean, it had a little bit of comedy here and there. However, this whole episode was just bad. I mean, you have Tommy getting embarrassed about stuff, which kind of makes sense because they're in middle school, and you had Francine trying to embarrass him for like kind of a stupid reason. By the way, his character has not been in this series at all, and she won't appear again unless it's like a side character that I missed. So the whole thing about Tommy and Francine kind of becoming friends at the end, first of all, it seemed forced, and second of all, it doesn't matter since she won't be in the series anymore. So it was just like, it's kind of the same thing with episode 1 of season 1, the whole Cope DeVille episode, when you got that one girl, I can't remember her name, and I'm not looking it up, but you got that blonde-haired girl who was just like a complete waste of character. It was a horrible character. It was like there's no point for that character to even be there. And the same thing with Francine. She held such a big role in this episode, and now it's like, oh, who cares? It doesn't matter. So that's a thumbs down again. I mean, and the whole thing about Dill wanting to know how to be a brother, it's like I said, this has already been discussed for 4 episodes in the last season, and it's just like, at this point, of course he knows how to be a brother. You know, it just, the whole thing seems stupid. They could have replaced this with like a more developed episode, and by more developed I mean a more like developed episode in terms of the brotherly bond of Tommy and Dill. If they wanted to do that, because this is the second episode of the season, if they wanted to do a Tommy and Dill episode where they get closer as brothers, they could have done one just better written and just overall a better plot and a more like basically the characters seemed like they were going backwards in this episode. Both Tommy and Dill seem to be going backwards. Because, I mean, like I said, we had 4 episodes that discussed Tommy and Dill's brotherly relationship. And in this episode, it seems like, oh, those episodes didn't happen at all. We're just going to throw this in here and act like there's no character development whatsoever. So, that was bad. I mean, like I said in the last episode about the whole animation improving. This animation, I mean, compared to that last episode I think was better. However, the character models are still really good. So plus, I guess, even though they didn't really improve on it from the last episode. Transitions, didn't really notice them. They do a really good job with the editing process. I think they have really good editors there that really mesh the scenes together pretty well. However, the episode really shouldn't have existed overall. The whole Ask Angelica thing, that was perfect for a character, and it tied in with the plot perfectly. It's almost like they had the idea for the side plot, Angelica's plot being the whole gossip columnist, and they created the main plot to tie into that. So that just seems what they did to me. If you ask me, they should have done the main plot of Angelica and had a side plot completely unrelated or semi-unrelated, or had like Chucky the main character or something like that. I don't know. It just would have made more sense not to do what they did. So the episode does get a plus in terms of Angelica's plot, but the overall episode gets a 2 thumbs down. Now, the moral of it from a Christian perspective, okay, brothers, siblings, you're going to be there for each other no matter what. That's basically it. They didn't really have much of a morals in terms of complicated or anything, and they've already really done this before. So, Anyway, I give the episode a 5.5 out of 10. The only saving grace in this episode is Angelica. Everything else, even Dill, kind of sucked. So, yeah, 5.5 out of 10. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. See you guys in the next one. Bye.